So I'm Lauren Sudhall, and this summer I worked with Nikita D on her app, which she titled Engineerable for Teens. When I first met Nikita, she was doing this intense rowing camp out in California while kicking off her Magic Summer Session. So I knew at that point that she's a real go-getter. She's a senior and she's been thinking about what college to attend and what major to choose. So we chose to do a project that helped her learn about the different types of engineering while also refining her coding skills. So she was able to make this project pretty interactive actually within our Magic community by interviewing 6 Magic mentors to learn about what they do day to day in their engineering roles. And she took that information and incorporated it into her app. So she really inspired me this summer, the way that she juggled her rowing camp, kicked off her senior year already, completed her Magic session, and also she just founded a new club at school for women in coding. So I'm really proud of her and I'm excited for you to see her project.
Thank you, Lauren. This is Lauren. She's my mentor. She's great and has been really inspiring with me through this whole process, especially with how transparent she was when I needed timelines, especially with my rowing. And she lives in Cape Town, South Africa. And her education includes the Naval Academy, a variety of fields, including nuclear engineering, project management, and marketing, which I think is really cool because of the whole variety and the breadth of the things she's done. My video seems to have some difficulties, but we'll keep going. Let me click try. Okay. And her timeline, the timeline for the project included development, which was coming up with the app, then implementation, then debugging, which there was a lot of debugging, and then of course the future of the project going forward. And then the spark. So basically when I first started this project, I was like, I want to learn engineering. So here, let me try and fix my video. Okay. I want to learn engineering. And that's kind of a very silly concept, reflecting back on it. It's kind of the same concept of like, I want to learn math. Like that's not really possible, especially in this timeline, and especially because of like the breadth of the whole subject. And I quickly discovered this, very quickly, the hypocrisy of learning engineering. But then I decided, how do I help high school girls like me maybe get like a more broad sense of what engineering even is? Which I didn't realize how hard that was for high schoolers to learn, like what engineering was. So I investigated some different types, 6 major ones, and then I developed it into an app concept using MIT App Inventor. And then, as Lauren said, the title is Engineerable for Teens. And then I use MIT App Inventor, past coding experience in my computer science, math classes, and then the app design, which was a part which I didn't think would be the most difficult, but then the more research I would do on it and the more I got involved in it, it became very complex. And then, as Lauren mentioned, the interviews with other people in the Magic Network, which was amazing and one of my favorite parts of the project. And then YouTube, and like Reese said, just Google. Then this is the organization. You start with the home screen, then there's a quiz, like an engineer, like personality quiz, like what type of engineering suits you the most. And then pages which describe the 6 disciplines I focused on. Then this is the home screen. And then here's some of the code just to traverse between screens. There's the quiz, which this is just one block, which just shows the option right here of the likelihood of getting software engineering. This is a mechanical engineering page, which I did with Stephanie Chow. And it basically just, when you click open the button, it just shows you the Q&A from our interview together. And then here's my demo. So this is the home screen, like I said before. And then these are the types. And then I'm going to click into the quiz. You can see my phone's a little cracked, but I don't want to expose myself. Then I'm clicking the video games. I'm going for physics as my best favorite topic. And I picked museum. I'm a fan of a museum. And then it says that I'm equally likely, which kind of makes sense at this point, just in high school. And then I'm traversing to the nuclear engineering page, which I interviewed Lauren with. And then you can see the Q&A. And then I'm going to the software engineering page, which I picked orange, and I included a little Simpsons graphic for each page. I did that one with Petron Chang, and then that's it. And then the rest of the pages model the same thing. These are the people I interviewed, and these are the types I focused on. I did marine engineering with Sarah Rice, nuclear with my mentor, software with Petron Chang, mechanical with Stephanie Chow, chemical with Smriti Achok, and electrical with Yan Guam. And I added a link here in case you want to view the engineering Q&As on your own time, because I think they're very helpful. And I really recommend looking at them if you're curious about any specific type. Then these are the challenges and what I've learned. One aspect I've learned, and I could keep working on, is problem solving. Yeah, I wish I had an app like this last year too, Sarah. And explaining one aspect of STEM using another aspect of STEM could get very complex, I felt like. And I really liked the interdisciplinary aspect of it, even though it was the most complicated part for me, because I thought it was cool that you could use coding to show like engineering and all these types. And then of course, coordination and communication. As Lauren mentioned, I was doing a rowing camp in California, and then I went back to my house in Florida. So there was that EST to PST time difference. And then she also lives in South Africa, so she had her own time difference. That was really interesting and helped me work on like organization. And then of course, scheduling with other engineers and keeping track of my time and their time. And then growth mindset, which was just resilience, research, and patience. I feel like patience was a big one, with just learning to just work through things and just be diligent instead of just being impulsive in my work. And then the future of the project, also spreading the message, of course, as Lauren mentioned, for the Girls Who Code chapter, which I really love and I really am passionate about. And Magic has really shown me the importance of getting more girls involved in STEM. My high school is very, computer science is very accessible, which I feel like makes it even more sad that there's a very low percentage of girls in that community. So I've been trying to work on that for like the younger kids in high school and middle schoolers and even people in my grade. And then of course, the integration of advice I've learned from other mentors and other people in the Magic Network through my Q&As. And I recommend you guys all take a look at them, like using Excel more and taking everything you hear to heart in terms of advice, but not like letting it bog you down. And then exploration. I'm definitely going to continue looking at engineering in the future in college and next year in high school. Thank you. Any questions?
That was awesome, Nikita. This is Smriti. I have actually two questions. The first is, I just think this concept is really cool, and it's really helpful to understand engineering from, one of your classmates too, who has done research, someone your own age versus just Googling things. And so I really like how you put it in that context. I was wondering if you had the chance to show it to any of your friends or peers and what they, took away from it.
Yeah, on our first day of school in our comp sci class, we just have one class and it's like the same group of people every year. And then the first day we would just show like what we were doing over the summer. So I like showed my app and I let them all like download the little QR code on their phones, which is cool because they now have like the Android for iPhone. And so I let them all like play with it, and they all gave me advice on trying to make it look nicer. And we all like discussed what type of engineer we got, which I thought was fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool. My other question was actually, how did you come up with the survey? Like I saw there was a question about where would you want to visit for vacation? How did you kind of figure out the questions to ask, and what categorized you into what engineering role?
Yeah, so what I did was I looked up other engineering personality quizzes on the internet, and then I would keep like looking at the questions. And then from my interviews with the other mentors, I kind of tried to get the feel for what their experience was and how they got involved into it. Like, for example, Peachron was telling me that when she was in high school, she never really did coding, but then she really liked like math and science. And then she would keep getting like recommended to do coding and get into software engineering. So I kind of like took all of that and like culminated it together. And I know it's like a little stereotypical, but I try to like veer against it in the quiz.
Very cool. Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nikita. There's one question in chat, which is Luana wanted to know why you chose engineering to explore and share versus maybe physics, which is what she's interested in, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a really good question. Engineering for me was just a really big buzzword, but I never understood what it meant like at all. And I've looked it up before, of course, as you can see, but like the description was very broad on Google because it's like a very broad topic. But I always wanted to just explore it because I feel like all the things I'm doing mesh together become engineering. And I just wanted to kind of explore it and learn what I was missing out on. Thank you. And is there any way we can download the app? Yes, there is. I can add it to the PowerPoint. So this MIT App Inventor, it has an option. You have to get an app on your phone. They have one for iPhone and Android. And then once you can click, you can scan the QR code on, I'll put it on the PowerPoint, and then using the app, and then you should be able to view the app on any of your devices. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Nikita. Congrats. That's amazing work, both of you.